One of the best feelings in golf is wading through the trees looking for your lost budget golf ball and coming out with a Pro V1. It's just like getting a free pint at the clubhouse. But sometimes that long lost Pro V1 is a bit battered and bruised. But does that mean it's actually no good anymore? Today, we're gonna find out. I've put one Titleist Pro V1 through the ringer. Not only have I played a round of golf with it, I've hit it against trees, I've hit it out of bunkers, I've even left it out overnight in my garden in the pouring rain, all in the name of science. Because I'm gonna compare a battered Titleist Pro V1 up against a brand new one to see how much of a performance difference there actually is. How durable is the 2025 Titleist Pro V1? Let's get into it. First things first, how much has this golf ball actually been through? Well, I've played 18 holes of golf with it, and it's a miracle I didn't lose it at any point. I've hit 18 bunker shots with it, and that is really putting the cover through its paces. I've hit it against a few trees, both accidentally and intentionally. I've even left it outside overnight in my garden while it was raining, just to simulate what it would be like to find a golf ball the next day. And on top of that, I've even hit 100 golf shots here in the simulator before I've even done any testing on the golf ball. So yeah, I have put this golf ball through a lot of torture for this test. Now the Titleist Pro V1 is supposed to be the best golf ball on the market, and this is the ultimate durability test. I'm not sure anyone's done a video like this before, so it's going to be really interesting to see the results. Can the Titleist Pro V1 hold its performance even after all of this torture? Let's find out. If you're already a subscriber of the channel, you'll know all about my golf ball testing process. You'll know I put a lot of effort into these tests, but if you're new, wow. But if you're new, here's how the test works. I test golf balls with 4 different clubs: the lob wedge, the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, and the driver. I hit 20 shots with each club with each golf ball, and I use club head speed as a controlling factor. I pick the best 15 strikes with each golf ball with each club, and then I show you guys the results. By testing this way, I'm making sure that I've got reliable data to show you guys. On top of that, I'm able to make sure that I'm able to complete the test all in one day, which is really important because I'm an amateur golfer and my swing changes on a daily basis. Now, if you do the maths, that means I'm hitting 160 shots for this test. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to show you every single shot. Here's a montage, and I'll be back in a second with the results. Before we get into the results, I want to show you what sort of state this golf ball is in, and I'm extremely surprised about how well it's actually held up through all this torture. The only real damage I'm seeing is from the paintwork on the logo. There's not really any scuff marks, and maybe a couple of little ones, like just down here. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but nothing too dramatic. Don't get me wrong, I don't think a tour pro would actually play this golf ball, but for us average Joes, this golf ball's not in bad nick. We've got to remember, right, that I've hit 100 shots in the simulator before I even started the test. So 100 shots before, 80 shots during the test, a full round of golf. I've deliberately hit it against trees. I've hit a load of bunker shots with it, and it's in great condition all things considered. So durability wise, the cover is absolutely fantastic, but has the internal structure of this golf ball been compromised? And what's the performance like now? Let's start off with the Lob Wedge results. Now, for the Lob Wedge, I was swinging the club at 50 miles an hour on average, which is basically a pitch shot for me. A type of shot where you need a lot of control, a lot of reliability, and good stopping power. For this test, I was looking at carry, ball speed, and spin. These are the three most important metrics when you're looking at golf balls. We'll start off with the benchmark results of the brand new Titleist Pro V1. Here are all of the results, and you can see that the carry was 47.4, the ball speed was 50.6, and the spin was 5,661. These results are consistent with what I see with the Titleist Pro V1. I've done a lot of testing of golf balls and they've always compared them with the Titleist Pro V1, and these results are basically exactly what I would expect. Let's have a look at the numbers we were getting with the battered Pro V1. So for the carry, we've got 46.4, we've got a ball speed of 49.9, and we've got a spin of 4,981. Basically, everything's just dropped that little bit in performance. During the actual test, I was hitting 5 shots with the new ball, 5 shots with the old ball, 5 shots with the new ball, 5 shots with the old ball, back and forth until I completed the test. This was to try and make sure that fatigue wasn't coming into the equation, especially later on into the test. But it is interesting to see that the battered Pro V1 is performing just a little bit less than the brand new one. But is the average golfer like myself going to actually be able to see that performance difference out on the golf course? I don't think so. Let's move on to the pitch and wedge. For the pitch and wedge, I was swinging the club at 77 miles an hour, which is basically a full swing. On screen now are the brand new Titleist Pro V1's results. And as you can see, we've got a carry of 132.6, a ball speed of 100.4, and spin of 7,420. Again, standard results that I see on a daily basis with the Pro V1. The performance difference though between the new ball and the battered ball is starting to show already. For the used ball, we've got a carry of 128.3, ball speed of 96.4, and spin of 6,364. Again, everything with the used golf ball is performing slightly worse. Now, honestly, I wasn't expecting to see such a big performance difference so early on in the test. And when I say early on in the test, we're not actually hitting the golf ball that hard. We've only got wedges in our hands so far. When we move on to the 7-iron and the driver, when we're starting to really hit the golf ball, that's where I'd expect to see a bigger performance difference. Now, the average golfer, I think, would actually notice that performance difference with a pitch and wedge. When you have a golf ball consistently landing 4 yards shorter than what you're expecting, you'd start to ask questions, I think. And I'll be honest with you, the performance difference only gets bigger as we move on through the test. Let's have a look at the 7-iron. When it comes to the 7-iron, I was swinging the club at 87 miles an hour, which again is a full swing. Here are all of the results for the brand new ball. So we've got a carry of 172.1, we've got a ball speed of 118.1, and we've got spin of 4,854. Again, these results are exactly what I would expect with the Titleist Pro V1. But how does the used golf ball compare? Here are all of the results for the used ball, and we've got a carry of 168.3, a ball speed of 116, and backspin of 4,847. Now, for the first time in this test, we're seeing spin numbers that are basically identical. Throughout this test so far, the brand new golf ball has been spinning more than the used golf ball, which is kind of what you'd expect when the cover is starting to be compromised. Now, when you consider that the spin numbers are exactly the same and the average club head speed is exactly the same, and I've picked the best 15 strikes with both golf balls, we have to ask why the ball speed is lower, and therefore why is the carry lower? Well, I think the amount of times that this golf ball has been hit with full swings, like out on the golf course, here in the simulator, and actually during the test, I think the internal structure is starting to be compromised. The golf ball is actually starting to deteriorate from the inside, which is why we're seeing a lowered performance with the used golf ball. But the big question is this performance drop significant enough? Get in the comments, let me know, would you still use this golf ball considering the results you've seen so far? I don't think it's that bad of a golf ball, especially when it's free, but we haven't looked at the driver results yet. Now, for the driver, I was swinging the club at 100 miles an hour. Not quite full speed, but it's a speed that I can replicate over and over again, which is obviously important for this test. Now, for the new ball, the carry was 259.1 yards, the ball speed was 149.8, and the spin was 2,062. Again, exactly what I would expect with the Pro V1. Now, when you work out what my smash factor was for the driver test, you can see that it was basically 1.5, which is approaching the maximum efficiency you can get from a driver. So I was striking the ball pretty damn well for this test. With that in mind, let's have a look at the used golf ball results. For the used ball, the carry was 242.8. We've got a ball speed of 146.8, and we've got spin of 2,662. That's a huge performance difference. Not only has the ball speed dropped, but the spin has increased, which has meant that the carry number is way off what you'd expect. Now, the ball speed has dropped throughout the whole test, even with the lob wedge. So you're kind of expecting that with the driver, and obviously we were expecting the carry to be less. But I was not expecting the carry to be that much less. The biggest factor affecting that carry is the spin number. That spin number has jumped a huge amount. And when you see a higher spin number with a driver, it's usually because the golf ball is softer on the inside. I think the amount of times I've hit this golf ball today has compromised the compression rating of this ball. The compression rating for the 2025 Titleist Pro V1 is 88, which is the perfect compression rating for my swing speed. But I think if I was able to test the compression rating of this used golf ball, we'd find that it's a lot lower than 88. And that's purely because of the amount of times I've actually hit that golf ball today. But I've got to be honest, I think I'm questioning my method a little bit here. How accurate is this test really? The reason I'm asking myself this is because how often are you ever going to come across a golf ball that has been hit that many times? So my handicap hovers around the 10 handicap mark, and on average, I reckon I probably lose one golf ball a round. Even if I get through a whole round without losing a golf ball, that ball has only been hit with full speed probably about 30 times, if that. The used golf ball I was testing today has effectively gone through 6 rounds of golf, and I've treated it really badly. I was even bouncing it on the concrete outside the workshop. The question at the start of this video was, how durable is the 2025 Titleist Pro V1? And honestly, I think it's really, really durable. I know my test results don't necessarily show that, but if you're walking around your local golf course and you come across a Pro V1 that looks like it's in fairly good nick, there's a good chance it actually is. And there's a good chance if you're going to lose any performance, it'll only be by a little bit. So how durable is the 2025 Titleist Pro V1? Extremely durable. Is it worth the money though? That's up to you guys to decide. Guys, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. If you're still here and you're not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I upload content every week designed to help mid-handicappers like us get better at golf. So if you want to learn more about the game and get better, hit that subscribe button. The last 30 seconds of this video is an advert about my services as a mortgage broker. If you don't want to watch that, that's totally understandable. I'll see you next week anyway for another video. Guys, you may or may not know, but I don't actually do YouTube for a living. When I'm not on the golf course or filming a video, I'm helping people find the right mortgage for them. As a UK-based mortgage broker, I provide expert advice on all sorts of mortgages, whether you're a first-time buyer or you're looking to remortgage your own home or look at your buy-to-let options. If you live in the UK and you'd like a no-obligation chat about your options, there's a link in the description to fill out the contact form, or you can simply follow the QR code on screen now. Thanks for listening to that advert. Now, let's get back to the video.